What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Another episode of Giga Chad Books. Got James right here. What y'all think about my shirt? Pretty cool, right? I really like it. Today, I'm gonna be talking about Haruki Murakami's Norwegian Wood. I really enjoyed this book, as I always do with all books. I have a past review of a Haruki Murakami book with a bunch of short stories that he wrote. I read that and I loved it, and I was like, man, I need to read more Murakami. So this wasn't the one that I wanted to read, but it's the one that I saw when I was out shopping one day. I just got it because I knew that it was supposed to be pretty good, and it wasn't what I expected, but it was freaking awesome. It's a little kind of like slice of life sort of book. It's a romance novel, you could say, although it doesn't really feel like a romance novel, but it is definitely a book about relationships, very interesting relationships. But this book is all about love and the different sort of forms that it can take on, and how it can find different sorts of representation in different people. I thought it was really interesting to see the different characters in this book and how they interact with the narrator. Everybody was super memorable. I can think of 5 main characters. So we have Toru, he's the narrator, and then we have Stormtrooper, his roommate at one point in the book, and then we have Nagasawa, and then we have Riko, we have Naoko, and we have Midori, I believe. They were all really good characters. All of the women in the book are super awesome, and they're super well developed, super interesting, and they're all very different from one another. And it was just awesome. I loved all these characters. They're super likable and interesting, and they all have different qualities in themselves that make them all appealing. So Toru is kind of like trying to figure out what exactly he stands for in this world and what he wants from his relationships, and he has a really difficult time because he's in love with this girl named Naoko, but she's just so complex and flawed and full of problems that she has to deal with before Toru can really, manage to find a way to be with her. And so the book is kind of just like about this whole struggle with that, and Toru's life and how he deals with this, and the long and slow journey of love that like he's kind of embarked on. And it was super investing. It's just such a genuine book and a very good depiction of like what love truly is and what love really means. It was kind of weird. Like, I wasn't expecting to love a book about just like, relationships and love and awkwardness, and I don't know, I wasn't expecting like a romance novel of sorts, like as much as I like this book. But I was super invested. Just like, I put the book down, I'd be like, oh, this is so good. I just like couldn't wait to read more, like all the time. I feel like I learned a lot. I feel like I learned a lot from this book. I really appreciate Murakami's writing style. I really appreciate just kind of like his way of going about storytelling as well. Like, I know that he has some other books that are like definitely crazier, but this one was such like a realistic depiction of life, like not really fantastical or anything like that. But it's just very much like slice of life, and it's just so great. Just like such a normal kind of looking story, but just executed so freaking well with all of the dialogue. The writing is just beautiful. These characters are so full of depth. It's a very tragic and sad story, full of death and regret and grief. And there's just so much to say about all of that, and how love doesn't really fade away, even if like these people aren't even like a part of your life anymore. Um, it was just really good. This book definitely made me very emotional. There were a few times where I was reading it and I was just so just caught up in it, caught up in the beauty, and caught up in just the tragic nature of this story. But I thought it was so beautiful, and I love Murakami, and I love, the consistency that I've found in his work so far, and I appreciate there's like these constant elements that I see in the short stories I read and in this book, just like constant elements, like he brings in so much of his own character, so much of his own interest into the picture. He just talks so much about records, and he talks so much about music, and he talks so much about like books, and I don't know, it's just so awesome to just see just like a representation of his own character in his writing. I think it's an awesome thing, and I really like that about him. Yeah, I was totally in love with this book. It's definitely one of my favorites that I've read this year. I've read so many good books, and this is just like another one to freaking add on to it. So this has been fantastic. Norwegian Wood by Haruki Murakami. You have to read it. You have to read it. It's so great. And I've only read 2 Murakami books, but he's easily one of my most memorable authors right now, and just so unique, and I really can't wait to dive more into his catalog. So we'll see what else the future holds in store for me, but that's all that I got for today. I hope that y'all have a lovely day, and I hope that y'all are reading some good books yourselves. And I'll let y'all know what I got on the table in the future, but other than that, I'm gonna absolutely freaking chill today. So yeah, man, y'all have a good one. Thanks for watching, and I appreciate y'all so much. Got 14 subscribers now. Turn up. Turn up. Never thought I'd see the day that I got 14 subscribers, but we've been blowing up recently. So let's keep it up. If you're watching, drop a like and subscribe. I'll see y'all soon.